Hey, so what's up guys, this is Chronic Rush HD and welcome back to episode 7 of my Hardpoint rotation and location series. And today we're going to be looking at the map Meltdown. So Meltdown is one of the bigger maps of Black Ops 2. Is a good map with long lines of sight with various snipers sitting in these buildings and the building across there, but it's also very useful for submachine guns if you, I don't know, walk around, run around the edges and looking in. You seem to reduce those lines of sight. So let's get into the hardpoint breakdown. So zone 1 is in this big circular building slash whatever you call it, and it's this whole circle bit with all these weird pillars in. And I'll tell you what guys, these pillars seem to confuse the hell out of you. If you like moving back and forth, the enemies can just use them, and they're very hard to actually defend and actually spot enemies in. So you could use that to your advantage. So you're going to be spawning that side, and the enemy's going to be spawning that side. So the enemy's really only got one place to come in, obvious place, which is this way, and you've only got one obvious place to come in, which is that way. So these are the two quickest routes for both teams. You've also got this 50-50 gamble route through here, but as I've said, snipers tend to sit up there and up there, so I wouldn't do it straight away because you are not going to beat a sniper unless they're extremely bad with a submachine gun across the map. So you pretty much just want to be able to hold down this as long as you can. You want to use your lightweight extreme conditioning and dexterity class to sprint here faster. You've also got the option of climbing up the ladder, so dexterity would be very useful there. And just want to try and keep this as long as you possibly can. Just make sure I always protect the staircase over the ladder, just because more people will run up the staircase than the ladder. The ladder for take longer. Or if you get here first, just always look that way and make sure your teammates are checking that place as well. So zone 2. Zone 1, sorry, once this is about, I'm going to leave a lot earlier than I would in other maps, just because these zones are so far apart. So zone 2 is, so I'd leave about 20 seconds if your teammates have got this area. If not, just keep contesting it and make sure you have plenty of time to get over to zone 2. And if you're spawning that side of the map, just keep contesting it, because if you die, you will spawn back where zone 2 is. So zone 2 is all the way over here. So like I've said, it's an advantage if you are spawning in this section, because you can just leap over this barrier, and this is zone 2. So zone 2 is pretty much that area there and all the way in this corner here. So you've got various places enemies can come from. So you got this, you can enemies are going to come from here just because zone 1 was just there. So they're all going to be rushing down here. So you've got this building, you need to watch out for them coming out this doorway and just running down here and jumping over here, going kamikaze style. So this forklift is a good head glitching spot. See, you can see through there, but you just need to watch out for that side door. On the other side, you got this bit here, and I'm not sure if and the enemies can come over here and just guns blazing and shoot you down. If you're, say, the only one here and your teammates are trying to get here as fast as they can, just camp it out, guys. Just hide behind here. Seems to be you've only got one place you can really get shot by. You camp it in pretty much the corners and see how long you can last. That's pretty much what you should do. You could also use this as a kind of cover head glitchy spot. And this zone is actually very hard to keep, just because it's one of the bigger ones with so many odd, peculiar entrances. But if you hold it down properly, you should be able to win it. So you're going to want to leave pretty early to get to zone 3, because it's missions away, lads. It's the other side of the map, so you don't really want to be running. It's also kind of hard to get out of the zone, because it's just the only ways of getting out is the ways the enemies are going to be wanting to coming in. So you got the zone going back through up to zone 1, which enemies may stop going this way and start coming down that way more. So it's probably the most efficient route of doing it. And just, I'm not going to do the route because it will take longer for the video, but you could also run under here just to cover, just to stop any enemies seeing you from up top, and just make your way down to zone 3. Also watch out for this building. Just keep your eye on it all the time, because there is just constant snipers camping in there. and this is zone 3, so it's another large zone. It's like from these big pillars all the way over to this bit here. So you want to get here first and just protect it as much as you can. This is a good head glitching spot. We've also got this one you can kind of use. You've got plenty of corners to camp in for you campers, and you just need to watch out for this. Like all the other spots, there's various ways of getting in. So you've got this way. So you've got this way coming through that building and coming out that entrance, and coming this way and just guns blazing over here. You've also got this way, so the enemies can just leap over here. And you've also got this way, but you need to also watch out for them sneaking around here. Sneaky devils some enemies are. So you just want to hold this down as long as you can, lads. I'm just checking if you get up there, but it's a spot, good cover spot for checking out that way. This is also a good head glitching spot. You just need to make sure you've got every entrance covered with enough teammates. So let's move on to zone 4. Sorry about that, guys. Zone 4 is also very hard to get because enemies will be rushing down here, because zone 2 was just down there. And they could be coming this way. Zone 4 is literally dead in the middle of zone 3 and 2 and 3, and it's this bit here. It's the biggest zone in this game map, sorry, and it's from that like entrance area, let's say, all the way over to that entrance way over there, including this bit is here as well. So like I've said, it's going to be hard to get this without getting killed from enemies rushing trying to get to zone 3. So if you do get it by any chance, you just need to watch out. There's so many different entrances you can get in. So you've got kind of 2 main choke points, let's say, up here, and jumping over this barrier and using this as a head glitch. You've also got enemies rushing down this staircase, and likewise on the other side you've got the staircase and that little head glitching spot as well, which you can also use to your advantage. You just need to make sure you know where the enemy's spawning and where you are spawning. Just look at that map every once in a while, and if your enemies spawn on the other side, get out of there, because the enemies will be coming behind you. Also use these things, because you can confuse enemies so bad on these things, just because they A, don't know where they're getting killed from, B, you can head glitch all over them, like so, and C, they're just such a obstacle that enemies don't tend to be looking up here. They just want to go rushing in, checking these spots. Also, if you seem to have all the entrances covered, just sit down here. Not many enemies will see you, because other than from that side, but you should be fine. So these have been all the zones on the map Meltdown. It's a large map to play, and therefore the zones are actually very hard to control and actually win. So this map is always quite an exciting game to play. You just need to make sure you are with a well thought out team, and know where you're actually going to set up and go. You just need to make sure you leave plenty of time to go to one zone to the other. So this has been the episode. If you guys enjoyed it, remember to hit that like button, put all the feedback in the comments, I will read them, and subscribe for more. So this has been Chronic Rush HD, and I'll speak to you later, guys. Adios.